Check. Alright, let's get going here, folks. How's everybody doing today? What's going on in the world? Lights are still on. Let's get into it here. Check 1, 2. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hey, folks, welcome back to Surely Sound Studio. My name's Martin. You can call me Marty. This is my show, so let's go. Stick around and I'll keep you in the know, because shit's about to get crazy. You'll see. So yes, we're going to talk about blockchain technology. You have come to the right place, if you have no idea what that is, because it needs to be talked about more and more and more, because nobody seems to really... I've been talking about this for like almost 5 years now, publicly, and I've seen pretty much everything that I've been telling people was going to happen, and this year it's really going to be integrated heavily. So we're going to get to the blockchain, but first let's take a look at the Bitcoin price. It's dumping. It is dumping. No, it's not even really that bad. I mean, this is exactly what we were talking about, right? Last week, we've been talking about this for weeks. We've been talking about this since July. This is going to happen. October, of course, was our beautiful take profits. We've been taking profits all summer. October, we did our fun trips. December, we did some trips, some fun stuff, right? Because if we know what's going to happen, we prepare for it. Life's a lot funner. So pay attention. This is the reason why we pay attention, because it's so obvious. I mean, at least it's obvious to me. I get it, like, maybe it's not obvious for everybody, but it is obvious to me. So just subscribe to my channel and I'll let you know how it goes. Keep you updated so you can position yourself properly to not get screwed over and left behind. And so yeah, Bitcoin price, short term, we're going down. We broke out of this and we lost our rising support. And so that's what happens. She going down. This Friday pump was a beauty retest of the macro. So that right there, man, this is a little bit of a piss off, but I had a short stop loss, like right here, because I was, in case if we broke back into this, then I was going to be out of the short position that I've been holding since 97. And I should have added to it right there. Smart me would have added to this, because we know that it's going to come at least up into this range. These lines aren't perfect. It's just a range. I had my stop loss too tight, just a little too tight for some stupid reason too, because my entry was freaking way up there. So I just wanted to maximize my profits on the short. It was kind of looking to me like during the week that we were actually building some support here. So this is kind of what was making me nervous. And then we saw the early morning flush of liquidity and pump, and that kind of, to me, that's when I moved my stop down. I was like, damn, if we come back up into here, up and break this value area high, this could be a reversal. So I got nervous. I got scared. I went against my better judgment and I made an error, but it's okay. It was a good short. We rode it all the way down from right here. This exact wick right here was my entry. What a beauty. It was a fun time. And that's the thing about Bitcoin and the thing about trading. Everyone, like, you know, on a macro scale, Bitcoin sure is an investment over time will perform quite well because all they do is print money. Bitcoin's a cap supply. So whether it goes up or down today or tomorrow, in the long term, it's going to be going up and to the right because the strength of the dollar is going down and to the right. So, but when you trade on the shorter terms, you can make money when the price goes down. I don't like losing value. I don't like losing money. And so when the price goes up, we're making money. But when the price goes down, we're losing value in our holdings. So if you can put a little bit, 1 or 2% in a short position, why not? Then you stay hedged. And if anything, your wallets just stay the same. And you take profits as you go down, making sure that you don't just give it all back to the market. But trading is really the thing that changed everything for me, because investing is long term, and if you're going for long term and you have, I don't know, a job or career or whatever that you're like, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life and just invest, then sure, DCA all the way. But I guess I'm a little impatient and or degenerate, whatever you want to say. But I'm also addicted to the charts, so it wouldn't make sense for me to not trade, because I know exactly what's happening and I make these calls live on YouTube on a regular basis. So why wouldn't I listen to my own self? I'm not a hypocrite. I try to practice what I preach as much as possible. And so I do that by trading, and that's what keeps me honest, because I can share my trades with the boys. And if I lose one, well, sorry boys, I lost one, but I win once, I win some too. I win some too, and it feels good. It's like one of the most satisfying things when you just put money into a position and then it turns itself into more money. There's never really been an easier time in human history to make money, to have money, make money, to have your money make you more money, because we're going through hyperinflation. We're entering the era of hyperinflation, and that's why we need the blockchain. Okay, so 2026 is going to be a wild year. I've been saying that for a while. Y'all know that now. Why is it going to be a wild year? Well, let's dig into it a little bit. Let's talk about what exactly is the blockchain. First of all, if you've never heard it, blockchain is a shared, immutable, digital ledger, enabling the recording of transactions and the tracking of assets within a business network and providing a single source of truth. Okay, so tracking of assets. It was designed from Bitcoin, but it is usable for all assets on a digital blockchain. Blockchain operates as a decentralized distributed database with data stored across multiple computers, making it resistant to tampering. So if you are on the blockchain and you are using the blockchain, you can also store and run the blockchain. So that's why it's immutable, because it's a digital ledger that's duplicated and distributed to every user that uses it. So everybody gets to see the database. Okay, right now, the monetary policy that we use, the Fed gets to update us once a month or every 3 weeks or 6 weeks, depending on, they just change shit constantly. And we have to just kind of like stand in line and be like, okay, so what's happening? And they've already made all their moves and we are left to pick up the pieces, right? It's a system that works for those that designed it, and it works fabulous for those that designed it. It does not work for anybody else, in a positive manner anyways. I mean, you can make it work for you a little bit, especially if you understand it, but the thing is they don't teach it. They don't tell anybody how it works or what they should be doing or shouldn't be doing. And in fact, they mislead people and tell them to do what they shouldn't be doing. So it's an uphill battle. It's designed to screw you. It is the definition of a scam, okay? You need to understand this. You need to realize that you've been lied to, and like relearn, break down and relearn everything, because once you do, you get onto the other side and you're like, oh wow, and you just feel sorry for everybody. So you try and help people out and they call you crazy and you're like, well, whatever, man, whatever. You do you, bud. You do you. And all you can do is just lead by example. So that's all I can do. That's all I try and do. And we want to spread information and make the world a better place for our children and their children. Right now, we're trending in a not so great direction. Let's change that. We have the power. We have the technology. We can do it. I know it. You know it now. And I believe in you. If you believe in me, we believe in each other. We'll work together to make a better place to live. How to track the blockchain. How to track a blockchain transaction from your wallet home screen, select transaction if you want to view. So basically you're saying it shows everything that happens on your wallets. It's all digital. For instance, in your bank account, most of the time these days you'll have all your transactions, but a lot of them will be like posted, and it won't actually be a transaction until a certain amount of parties approve it. It sometimes can take 3 to 7 business days, which can be like 3 weeks if it's over the holidays or something like that, right? Like, so just stupid. Blockchain is damn well instant. And as soon as you, for instance, say, send $10,000 over the blockchain from you to me, within 10 minutes or so, I can then send that $10,000 elsewhere. Okay. So it's not like in the bank where if you send $10,000 via wire transfer, it takes forever and then it has to be approved. And so you can't even use it for like 3 weeks or whatever it is, right? And especially if it's from another country or anything like that, like, man, it's ridiculous. There's I heard about some transactions that are happening in my family recently, and they're talking about potential 6 months for a transaction. And okay, it's a larger amount of money, but it's like, really? 6 months? And it has to go through the government. And so it's like, wow, that's the commercial real estate business, I guess, is like how can people get stuff done? I mean, that's the whole point. They don't want things. The government is meant to govern. A governor on an engine keeps it from over revving, right? So it's like the government is trying to keep you from over revving, keep people from advancing too fast, because they, they like their way of life, and they are the grasshoppers and we are the ants. And if we all stand up to them, we outnumber them 100 to 1, actually more like 1,000 or 1,000,000 to 1 nowadays. But if we figure that out, there goes their way of life. And guess what? There's lots of people that have figured out. And instead of revolting violently, we can have an evolution by revolution of technology. Okay, we don't need to kill anybody, even though there's a lot of people out there that think that violence is the only way. Madness and screaming is the only way. It's like, no, man. Opt out. Stop providing them value to be corrupt. It's plain and simple. You work with me, I work with you, we cut them out. Okay? And it's inevitable. It's going to happen anyways, because technology is going to do it whether we do it or not. Because AI is coming for everything. AI is going to use the best performing situation, the best performing bridge, the best performing everything for everything that it does, because it's not biased. It just wants to do what's best for what it does. And so it's going to integrate blockchain. It's going to use crypto and Bitcoin, because it's all digital. AI is digital. You have to understand how like all this is working together, and all this is happening right now, and all this is coming together for one apex, for a massive explosional change of humanity. Things are coming down. It's going crazy, man. I'm telling you, it's craziest time to be alive right now. Craziest time to be alive. Especially if you were born in like the 80s or the 90s or like the late 70s, and you're like watching all this stuff happen, and you're still like trying to learn and keep up with it, right? Because you have to, of course. And it's like, wow. From playing freaking Sega 8-bit, and now we're just crazy. It's nuts. It's crazy how things are going these days. It is crazy. So what else do we have here? Is blockchain a good thing or a bad thing? The benefits of blockchain are increasing trust, right? So that's been one of the biggest problems with the system we have now, is that it's not transparent. We're supposed to just trust, and they even have meetings behind closed doors, and we just allow that. What? No. Behind closed doors. I mean, it's supposed to be so the media isn't in there. The technical term, but it's like, come on, man. Even that's a thing. These guys, the deciders, they use force to make you do what the deciders decided you should do, right? So wait, like, who made them the deciders, right? Obviously, it was their family who took advantage of the financial system and positioned themselves in assets while they eroded it beneath your feet, and then gave them the power. So they, if we're all standing in the Grand Canyon before it was the Grand Canyon and it's just a like desert, they are on those those big plateaus or whatever that didn't erode yet. But don't worry, the water's coming. It's coming, and it's going to erode them one piece of dirt at a time if we have to. That's how we'll do it. it will start slow, and it's already started, but it'll start slow and it will pick up very quickly, becoming faster and faster every time, right? So blockchain is everything is going to be tokenized, basically, is what that means. Is it's going to be on the blockchain. A non-fungible token, NFT, they were like JPEGs and computer images and stuff like that a few years ago. That's a trial run to see how it works. Obviously, they're not going to be trading pink slips for houses or cars before, they're figuring it out with valueless shit on the internet. Also a test to see how dumb people actually get when it comes to trends and following other people. I don't own or never bought one NFT, never would I. Yet, I will be forced to eventually, because things like the deed to your house and anything else that you own is going to be registered as an NFT. And you might be thinking that's a bad thing. And I mean, it depends on your outlook on life, but really it's a good thing, because it's storing your value and making sure that it's immutable, right? Like we were just talking about, is it a good thing? The blockchain is absolutely a good thing for the majority of people. Okay, there's a reason why. So this technology was all invented in 2009, right? So we're 15 plus years removed from all this stuff, and of course it was starting and growing. It's always been growing, but there's a reason why it's taken so long, because it was probably about 2017, maybe a little under 10 years after integration, that it was like, okay, this is clearly better. It's worked, it hasn't stopped working, and it's working much better. But of course the deciders were like, we're not ready for this, we aren't positioned for this, so we need to make up a lot of bullshit to distract people over the next 5 to 10 years so that we can get our shit together and try and maintain our position as best as possible, because they know that inevitably technology is going to replace them. Okay, technology is not going to replace the person that's building the house. It's not going to replace the person that's bending the metal. It's not going to replace the person that's fabricating. It's going to replace the people who are organizing. It's going to replace the people who are taking middleman cuts on things that they shouldn't be. It's going to replace the people who are exploiting the system behind closed doors, because that's not sustainable, right? So the majority of the lower class is feeling, lower and middle class are feeling the effects of the system eroding beneath their feet, and technology is going to pick up the pieces, whether you want it to or not, because we've already allowed it to think for itself, and we've already allowed it to integrate itself into the internet without, I guess, like they've been given limitations, but trust me, it's before too long, it's not gonna matter. Okay, we've already given it enough freedom to the point where it's going to learn and get better. And the thing is that it can do thousands of transactions or thousands of equations all in within seconds, so it can figure this stuff out really, really quickly. Okay, and so it's inevitable. So you gotta be positioned properly for what is going to happen. Okay, Blockchain Explorer, like this is the kind of stuff. You can see there's latest transactions for Bitcoin, what's going on right now. All this is happening instantly right now. Someone's sending $2,000, $69,000. Isn't that funny, right? Like $2,000. These are all just transactions. You can click on these and you can go and seeing where they're coming from, who they're going to, all this stuff. Like you can see everything on the blockchain. Okay? You shouldn't be afraid of that, because you're going to be in a digital world. You're in a digital world. Don't you want to be able to see everything that's happening? Right? We were talking about this last week, or maybe it was the week before, about the front office and the back office thing. It's like the blockchain allows you for there to be no front office and back office. With a blockchain, I mean, it's up to you to do your due diligence and do your own research, but and people are going to try and adapt and do what they can to try and hide things as we move forward, because people are shady and greedy, but ultimately it gives you the ability to see exactly what's happening. So scams, bots, fake profiles, all these things are going to be, they won't work on the blockchain. Okay, the Web 2 allows all this crap, and we're dumping. Oh, Let's go. Yeah, that sucks, man. I wish I had my short open still, but oh, I'm not looking for longs, to be honest with you. I did take a little long off of this. I was like, oh, that looks nice little thing here, but no, we stopped it out like right away. As soon as it broke out of this, like if this could break back up, then I maybe add to it. But small starter position there. But as soon as it loses that trend, it's the same thing. We're going up, breaking down, going up, breaking down. So going up, breaking down. So this is what is happening. This is a bear market. It's been happening since October. Same thing on a larger scale. You see the same thing on the larger scale as you do on a smaller scale. Down, going up, and breaking down. And look, this is on the 15-minute. Let's go on the hourly. Same thing again. Going up on a larger scale here. So this was what we were looking at just now. Going up and breaking down. Going up, breaking down. Zooming out again. Let's go to 12 hour. And then you have, so that was the small one there, going up, breaking down. You can't even see it because the candles aren't stretched out, but like it's all the same thing. All the same thing. Going down, going up, going up, breaking down, going up, breaking down, going up, breaking down, going up, breaking down. So this is actually, this is a bad one. This is, so you can see here, like the longer it goes sideways, the longer it breaks down. Right, a little short sideways, a little not as big of a breakdown. A little short sideways, so far not as big of a breakdown. But this one is part of a larger sideways trend that we've been in since the middle to end of November. So we've got, well, obviously, I mean, I guess obvious shouldn't be the word to say because that's like I'm a fortune teller or something. But it would make a lot of sense. Let's say that it would make a lot of sense if we went and broke down and came down into our DCA zone where we're looking to buy and where we have been looking to buy for some time. We were looking to sell up here. We talked about it the whole time. So yeah, we're gonna be down in the 70s before you know it. Actually could happen this week. And what's gonna make that happen? The funny thing is that I'm telling you that this is going to happen right now, and the thing that's going to make it happen hasn't even been announced yet. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? Well, you should, because it happens every time, over and over and over again. The reason that the markets do what they do is it's like they come up with it afterwards. Okay, I can tell you by looking at the charts what's going to happen based on order blocks, based on trend, based on inefficiencies, based on any technicals, right? Technicals and information that happen on the charts are really the reason that anything's going to happen, okay? They just come up with an excuse for it in the news to make you go, oh, wow, these people really know what's going on. I should really listen to them. But it's like, are they showing you the charts? Are they showing you the actual reasons why these are happening? Or are they just showing you their sponsors and their companies that are going to be providing the solution for these problems that they've created just to take your money? I'll let you think about that for a sec. Ultimately, though, Bitcoin's going down because they're trying to scare everybody out of their positions, because it is going to be, well, it already is the world reserve currency, but it is going to be publicly forced as the world reserve currency. Either that or see, this is the thing that's like, the people that adopt Bitcoin will be the 1%ers, and then everyone else have to use XRP or something like that, which is devastating. XRP is like, if you're like one of those people that like thinks crypto is terrible, it's like, well, all cryptos do different things, right? Bitcoin is not a crypto. Bitcoin is Bitcoin. Everything else is a crypto, and all cryptos do different things. So it's like you have to be specific on what you don't like and why you don't like it. And if your specifics are because of the tracking and the like the whole digital ID, and you don't like that, well, then XRP is your worst enemy. It works really, really well, but it also, like, it's going to give you no freedom. XRP will be the underlying asset that has you owning nothing and being happy. Like, that's the narrative there you want to fight against. And I know a lot of people fight for XRP or talk about XRP, and it's like, man, you need to do a little bit. I mean, I get it. Like, what they're saying is right. You're totally right. It works very well. It's fast. It's cheap. It's something that could be used, but it's like, that is but it's inflationary, right? It's exactly like the US dollar. So yeah, you could be using it to buy a coffee, but it's not going to make you rich. It shouldn't be something that you're trying to invest in to get rich over, or to even to store your value in. Like it's going to be used to control you. That's the scary crypto. You don't want that stuff. I mean, especially if you're a self-sufficient type person and you want to take care of your own and your family and your friends, and you know, keep people educated and learning, and not just have them unplug and be controlled by one certain centralized entity. If you're for decentralization, then you're for Bitcoin. If you're for centralization, then you probably like XRP. But the thing is that most people that like it don't really understand why they like it. They just heard from somebody on a podcast or something that said some words that they understood, and they're like, oh yeah, this guy's awesome because I understood him. And a lot of people ask me questions, like directly ask me questions, and I start talking. And usually before I start talking, I go, are you sure you want me to answer this question? Because you have to pay attention to the answer that I'm about to give you, because it's going to be depth. It's going to be deep. It's going to be in deep detail, right? And so a lot of the time, even when people ask me questions, I start talking, and maybe for about 30 seconds, maybe they're like trying to pay attention, and then before too long, I can see them just fading, and I'm just losing them. I'm like, yeah, it's fine. But that's a thing that is something that people really got to work on. Like, stop being like confused or feeling like anxiety when you're not understanding something, or there's something new. It's like, you should be intrigued. You should be like, oh man, this is cool. Like, I don't understand this. Like, for me, I totally switched years ago. And I realized how much I love learning now. It's like anytime I get into a situation I've never been into, whether it's good or bad, there's learning opportunities, and it kind of makes me intrigued. And I approach things completely different because of that mindset now. And so, like I said, whether good or bad, I'm going to learn from this. I'm going to grow, and I'm going to come out better on the other side. And that's with every single thing that happens every day in my life, is the way I approach things. Whether it's something as little as getting a new phone, or something that happens like a tragedy in your family. I've been through a lot of that crap, and it's shaped who I am today. And I am grateful for everything that's happened to me, even the good or even the bad stuff, because it has put me where I am today. I still have everything that's why I'm just gotta be so grateful every single day, man. I still got everything. It could be taken in a second, and I'm aware of that. And so today is a good day to be happy, and it's a good day for a good day. So continuing on, Bitcoin, there's, we're talking about it coming down and definitely taking this liquidity quite a bit down here at the frozen. We're frozen. Elsa, would you leave my computer alone? Man, my kids watch so much. No, I actually don't watch that much anymore. Okay, well, anyways, that one doesn't want to load. How about this one? Yeah, okay, here we go. So still a lot of liquidity down at 86, 85. So, this low would be a lot of sense for us to really take this low out. We are building some liquidity to the upside. So on a bullish aspect, or a bullish approach, I guess you could say, a bullish view, there is potential for us to come up and grab some of this liquidity, right? So I did honestly think that this pump was going to take us up to 100K and like get everybody bullish again before dumping. That could still happen. We could still see us come up and make a high here and break this high, and then I don't know though. I don't know if that's gonna happen. That's almost just hopium, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's some liquidity up there, but I can guarantee you that liquidity is probably not going to go anywhere anytime soon. It looks like they're pretty big orders, so those people could very well be an exchange. They could be huge. They could be governments. They could be big players. They could be positioned perfectly for the move that's about to be happening over the next couple months here. And let's see if we can go back to the other one if it'll load. And so yeah, like, there's still tons of liquidity down here. Again, it is building. There is more to the top side, but market makers know that we're going to go up here eventually. Okay, it's inevitable. We will come back up here, but they want to go down and wipe out as much liquidity down here before doing that, because any liquidity left below is going to be worth a whole lot more up here than any liquidity down here, or up here down here, right? Because this liquidity, if it's in Bitcoin, is actually becoming worth less as it goes down. also. That's how your debt works, by the way. Any debt you have up here, say the dollar's at a certain, let's say this is the US dollar, right? And just tracking the strength of the US dollar. Say you bought a house right here, nice strong US dollar, okay? But you had to borrow money to do it. All right, well, you accumulated some debt, but you bought that house with a strong dollar. Okay, well, now that dollar has actually lost quite a bit of value since you bought that house. So guess what? That debt that you accumulated up here is actually worth less in a value term than it was up here. Okay, so that's another thing that we really need to pay attention to, because at any point here, traditionally speaking, October this year will be bottom. Okay, September, October this year will be bottom, and then we'll continue to go up after that. But I wouldn't be surprised if that whole technical thing gets rug pulled, because the US is the US dollar, which we price everything in, they want their dollar to be weaker so that they can trade at a surplus. And the weaker dollar makes it so that their borrowed money is worth less. So that means their debt's worth less, right? So they can inflate their currency to devalue their debt. Okay, because when it comes to a country being in debt, there's only so many things that they can do. One of them is they can raise taxes to try and pay off the debt, but obviously they don't want to do that because ratings are more important than anything. So they're not going to raise taxes. And then the other thing is that they can try and buy assets and borrow against those assets instead of just borrowing the money. But obviously that's just kicking the can down the road, and they do that, but it's obviously not a solution. It's just more of like a time saver. And then the third one, and the most easy one, is just print more money, because they have to pay off the debt, they have to pay off the interest on the debt, and the interest on the debt is growing, and on every printed dollar there's more interest. So it's just an inevitable revolving door that never ends, and eventually the door will come off the hinges and the thing will all break. Because, and this is what's happening, is the interest on the debt is exceeding $1 trillion a year, and that's exceeding like everything on the budget. If the debt is the largest thing on the government's budget, the system is broken. Okay, and I'm sorry, not the debt. The debt's huge. The interest itself on the debt is the largest thing. It's mathematically impossible to dig yourself out of this hole. Okay, so that is the main approach long term. We know that the dollar is going to go to zero, but this year they're trying to create as much havoc, just like they did in 2020, 2021. They're trying to create as much havoc as they can before prices go back up again. So this is the time to be paying attention. If you have no Bitcoin, this is the time to be DCAing. If you have Bitcoin, this is the time to be paying attention to what's going on, to seeing what you're going to do with your bags. Did you take any profits up here? No? Well, you could probably just sit on your hands for a while then. Did you buy any up here? If you bought some up here, then you really should be continuing to DCA, because then you want to lower your price. You want to lower your average price, right? Can always be providing value so that you can always have an income of some kind, and make sure that you're saving it properly so that you don't get rug pulled by the system that is clear as day. Clear as day. So we come over here to the old X page. I've been working for Sats since January 2024. I've been working for Sats for longer than that, but I posted that picture then. But this is the kind of thing. This is the kind of thing that we need to pay attention to, right? So BlackRock CEO Larry Fink admits the intention to tokenize all your assets and manage them via the blockchain, right? So this is you can read, and this is what they talk about. The deciders use force to make you do what they've decided you should do. So, I mean, it's funny because I could have gone up here in 2017 and given that exact same speech, because I know how it works. But oh no, Larry says it now. I mean, he manages a little bit more money than I do, so I get it. Nobody knows who I am. I'm just a session musician. I'm just a session musician that wants to see everybody around me have as good of a time as I do. Put a smile on your face. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to just put a smile on your face. If I made you smile today, smash the like button. Let's go. That's all I'm really here to do, is to make you smile. Spread the love. Come on. Share the intelligence, share the insight, do whatever we can do to try and make us all prosper in a utopian society. Okay, that's the goal. That's the goal, man. And it takes some time. Adjustments take time, change takes time, but as long as you don't fight it and you embrace it, it's not as hard as you think. But this is just the kind of thing that we need to pay attention to. Okay, so Rothschild's report confirms 2025 was a turning point for blockchain mainstream adoption next, right? So they do what they do and they tell you something else. And then once they've done that, then they tell you they did it, right? They don't do it and tell you they're doing it when they're doing it. We know, and we've looked at it before, and we can go back to the charts and we can see that January 2023, BlackRock started accumulating Bitcoin, right? They didn't say they were accumulating Bitcoin until 2024, but you can look at the charts and it'll tell you that people were coming in with some large buys, and who has the capital? BlackRock's got the capital. It wasn't me, it wasn't small businesses, it wasn't individual people pumping the price up in 2023. It was people buying large amounts, people that are controlling large amounts of money, and they're positioning themselves for the future that is inevitable. Okay, so now we're seeing in the news that this type of thing is going to happen, whether you like it or not. So what they're doing is it's simultaneously telling you this is going to happen, but also creating panic and creating chaos. So this allows them to have people believe that this is going to be the future today, so they're going to buy today. And they need exit liquidity from their positions that they bought at 15, 16, 17, 20, 25, 30, 35K. They want to take, remember, their game is to make money. The underlying asset that they make money on doesn't matter to them. Eventually, it will, and it does to a certain point. And I'm going to get to that in a sec, so hold on, because this is important and can save you financially, this next bit that I'm about to say. But what they're doing is they're trying to use you as exit liquidity. Okay, so they sell, they prop up the idea, you buy it, they sell it. Okay, and then they scare you out of the market after being like, oh no, this is war, blah blah, things, oh my, who's an invasion, blah blah blah. Okay, tariff, blah blah blah. Right? The same thing that happened last year in April and May when the tariffs hit, and it was, what was the day? It was something day. They're trying to dump the market so that they can use it as exit liquidity. Okay, so this is how the market works. Psychology. They've already filled their bags once. Now they're sharing the narrative publicly so that people will buy. You are exit liquidity. You are going to be holding bags that are going to be in the red, and then they're going to create chaos. It's going to go down even more. It's going to go down like way more. Oh, wow, look at that. It's still going. We're dumping. We could be going to take that liquidity right now. But anyways, they're creating chaos, and then they're going to get you to sell down here, and they're going to buy it. Okay? So you have to be resilient and understand how this works, and don't sell your Bitcoin at a low, and don't buy it at a high. Okay? So anytime we're in the green, we're looking at taking profits on the higher time frames. Anytime we're in the red, we're looking at accumulating. But you have to understand that this is the daily. I mean, I usually only use the weekly for my accumulations and distributions. But this would have been okay if you bought the lows in the red, but you would have had to sell, like right here, you would have sold. Okay, so we saw a rejection. And then in the green again, okay, you would have sold. And we were talking about this in the daily. Remember, this was target 1, and I've changed the color of it to green, but it was purple. And this was target 2. Are we going to see target 2? Doesn't really look like it. So if you sold 50% of your bag there, well, you should be doing good. But guess what? We're going back into the red. And we're going back into the red. And on the weekly, we're going back. We're just getting in. We're just breaking into the red. So like, this is just getting started. This is just getting started. What's my price prediction, you ask? What's my price prediction? I don't care about price. I care about momentum. If you want a price prediction because you don't understand momentum, then you can bet your bottom dollar, and this is not financial advice. Let's see, just judging by the charts, we have an inefficiency here, probably somewhere in here, so like maybe 30K. But the thing is that so this is what happens, and this is the what I was gonna get to here. We can tell it's the bottom when they buy back their Bitcoin. Okay, so that's what we'll wait for. We don't care about a price. Doesn't matter what the price is. We're going to wait for them to buy back their Bitcoin. And so this is what they can do. Now, this is one of the things I hear nobody ever talk about, sometimes maybe, but it is what the big players been doing with stocks and assets of all kinds forever. If I bought Bitcoin right here, and again, and we always see the manipulation right around tax season. If I bought Bitcoin right here, and then in February or March, maybe early April, it goes down, let's say 50%. I will have half the amount of Bitcoin or whatever asset valued, right? The value will be cut in half in US dollars. The asset itself will still be a house. It'll still be the same amount of Bitcoin that you had, the same amount of whatever you have as an asset. It's still the same thing. Just the value has dropped 50% because we're in a bear market. Okay, so you still have that same thing. If you sell that thing, you can claim that as a loss. Now, if you sell that thing and you buy it back immediately, you still have that thing at the same. You still have the same amount you had. You can claim the loss, and now you've lowered your entry price. Does that make sense? Think about that for a sec. You have the same amount of whatever you have. You sell it and buy it back. Now, of course, you can't really do that much really quickly with a house, but on the blockchain, if everything's on the blockchain, why do you think they want to do this on the blockchain? So that they can sell to themselves instantly at whatever price they want, which means you can sell or buy from yourself instantly at whatever price you want. So when it comes to capital gains tax, you can manipulate what you need to pay based on your deficit or your whatever for the year, right? So there's a reason why we go down, and people are always like, well, with inflation, how can we just go up and to the right forever? So because then we would have to pay taxes on that, and nobody wants to pay taxes. The rich don't pay taxes. And how do they not pay taxes? Well, we psychologically manipulate the people to manipulate the market so that we can sell to ourselves at a lower price and then have a tax write-off. But we didn't actually lose anything, right? It's just the value of the currency. So money is a tool, not the goal. You don't want a lot of money. You want a lot of assets. You use money to get those assets, and you use money transaction to register your entries and your exits and your deficits and your gains, right? So if you paid taxes and you made on those gains 2-3 years in a row, you're like, damn, man, I really got to do something about this. Okay, well, I need a year. I need a year where I can write some of this stuff off. And if you look at bear and bull cycles in the business cycle, just in general, the bull cycles last typically 3 to 5 years, and the bear cycles last typically about a year, almost exactly. And it has to do with taxes, because like I said, they can dump the price that they bought up here, they can dump the price and buy it right back from themselves immediately, and then they get that 50% decrease capital gains write-off that allows them to make more money because they're realizing a loss. Okay, but they didn't actually lose anything because they buy it right back. They still have that thing. But on paper, they bought up here and they sold down here, and they have a realized loss. You get it? Okay, good. So we are going to wait. This is a nice little wick here. Boom, right? But we're probably going to lose it. Go back down here, right? The EMAs are calling. So there's a high volume node down here. We had our buy zone. We probably come back into it, right? A lot of inefficiencies, right? A lot of inefficiencies. We circled this back when it happened. And when we were up here, this was a couple years ago, I remember people asking me if we're going to go 100K. I said, no, we need to spend more time in the 80s because we ripped right through, right from 74K, was it? Yeah, right from 74K all the way up to 90K. And then we spent some time in the 90s, tapped 100 briefly, and then came back down. There was no way that this inefficiency wasn't going to have more time spent in it. There was no way. Even when we hit this, I said it again. I'm not going to take this circle off. We have not filled this inefficiency. Look how inefficient this is, right? massive amounts of volume here, massive amounts of volume here, inefficiency. So we need to come down and at least test 60K, 63K, somewhere in here. This node at least has to be tested, okay? That's going to be like maybe a chance at a bottom if we go sideways for months down here. But then you're going to have people saying the head, shoulder, or shoulder, head, shoulder, or whatever. We need people to get bearish. We need people to think Bitcoin's going to zero. We need people to think that it's all a scam and everything's. That's the thing, is like a lot of people are waking up to the fact that the real scam is the US dollar and the traditional markets, and they're realizing that hey, wait a minute, I want a transparent blockchain-based asset class that I can see and use 24/7 without a broker or somebody telling me what I can and can't do with my money. Right? It sounds like something we should all have, probably, right? So, yes, look at it go. 86.4. So like I said, probably, yeah, 85K, a lot of liquidity down there. Maybe even take out that low. And like we were saying before, eventually come and take out this low. And then we're in the DCA zone. And then we're trying to work hard. And probably, like, you'll see some sort of recession-ish period, right? Like a lot of people have been talking about how 2026 is going to be amazing. But, dude, silver, gold, pumping, that's not a sign of a strong economy. That's a sign of a investors are in doubt, and the investors and the bankers are what run the financial system, which runs the world. So they are in doubt, and they're going to back to the old assets. Let's go back to gold. All right, but honestly, I think that's probably just a little bit of a misleading look over here while we do this kind of thing. Of course, a lot of people are buying gold right now, which is insane because you're literally buying an all-time high. I don't know why people buy all-time highs of anything at all. I actually had a session on this day right here. It was a Monday. Yep. When Bitcoin was at an all-time high, I was at a session doing video on set, setting up cameras and audio and all this stuff for a commercial. And a lot of people on set like, oh, you know a lot about Bitcoin, eh? Like, it's at an all-time high right now. Should I buy some? I said, no! No, don't do it! Don't do it! Don't you do it! No, it wasn't quite that elaborate, but I was like, no. Don't. I mean, unless you want to lose, unless you have like some sort of capital gains that you want to offset with a loss by next tax season, then no. Right? So it's a tool, right? It's a tool. And it can be used in both ways, going up and going down. You need it to do both so you can use it. If it stays flat, stagflation is the enemy, right? Well, it's not the enemy for a consumer, because every time the consumer would go into the grocery store during stagflation, their budget would be the exact same, and they'd be able to work out and get the exact same thing every time. And then they can actually build, because what they're working with is the same every time. They can rely on it. But of course, they don't want that to happen, because then you'll start to figure things out and you'll have more time to do other things, and they will know. And then there goes their way of life, right? One ant stands up to us, they all stand up to us. They outnumber us 1,000,000 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life. All right, well, I think that's all I've had to say. But blockchain. Everything's going to be on the blockchain. Everything. Blockchain. BlackRock pushes global digital currency, one blockchain to rule all. Oh, my God. That's scary. Oh, look at this guy. Oh, yeah, shredding, bud. Definitely smashed a like on that one. Let's go. Guys, he's all right. Not a very good guitar player, but pretty good drummer. But, yeah, like, it is what it is, you know. It's, don't fight it. And embrace it and learn how you can benefit from it, because there is going to be a very small group of people that are going to be able to change their life on the new financial system, switching from the old financial system to the new financial system. And there is going to be a very, very large portion of the population that is going to suffer from it. So do yourself and your family and their future children a solid, because you're the one that's alive right now and they're the ones that it's going to affect. So it's up to you to be paying attention right now and position yourself properly for not only yourself, but your offspring and their offspring and everybody that comes after you in your bloodline. Now is the time. Don't worry about anything that's going on in the news or anything that's trying to distract you from becoming a better person. Okay? Trust me. Money won't change your life, but it definitely can change some things. So pay attention to how you can use money as a tool and understand and study Bitcoin so that you understand how the financial system works, why Bitcoin was created in the first place, and how you can use it to your benefit. And then you can do a podcast with all your extra time and just do cool audio and video things and, record music for people and or whatever you want to do, whatever you want to do. If you want to, drive a truck, or you want to, go camping or travel, you can do all that stuff, man. Live. That's what life, it's the meaning of life. It's pretty simple, really. The meaning of life is to live, experience, learn, laugh, love, do it all, man. Maybe don't do too many things. Don't get a little crazy. Don't get too crazy. I mean, it basically is a video game. There is consequences though, so within reason. Be smart about your decisions, and remember that you will have to live with the consequences. So yeah, make sure you take care of yourself and you take care of your friends and family, and make sure that you're always pushing out that positive energy, because you receive what you put out. You get what you put out into the universe. If you put positive energy into the universe, you receive positive energy. If you steal, lie, and cheat, then you get stolen from, lied to, and cheated. So I recommend the other one. The first one was a lot better. I did some of the other stuff when I was younger, and it sucked. But when you get yourself out of that hole and you get on the other side there, life is amazing. Absolutely amazing. And so I think I'm going to go play some Golden Tea. So check back in about 20 minutes, half an hour here, and I'll see if we can get a hole in one. And with that being said, I'm going to say, for my friends and family who are Seahawks fans, go Hawks. Good luck today, you guys. I'm not a huge football fan, but I'll probably watch the game. And, I'm a West Coaster, so that's about the only real thing, I guess, as far as football is the Hawks. Good for them and everything that they're doing. I haven't watched any games this year, so I don't really know what's going on. But it sounds like they're doing pretty good. Some people are talking about it, so good for them. Keep it up. I'll see you when it comes to baseball season, though. Then we can really start talking sports. All right. Have fun, folks. Love you all. Peace out. I'm saying, you're right. Peace. I recommend putting your opinions aside and learning how to think logically.